This is our project in our book, our cloth book, which has been so much fun. So I went ahead and created a 2-page spread. This might be in the middle of a signature, so both pages will show at the same time. I am okay with that. I added an acetate window. I felt like drawing my own little girl in there this morning. So that is what I did. Mod Podge wings. All right, I'm bringing in my Arteza acrylic yellow ochre. Starting off with that. Go ahead and make a 2-page spread. Bring in some hand sanitizer just because I love it. Mix that around with my credit card. Let that dry. Bring in some teal blue. Really dilute that. I'm going to go along the bottom. Spray some water. Let that drip down. I'll add some more in here. And we'll let that dry. Bring in a stencil, and I'm going to grab the Orchid stencil butter. And tap, tap, tap. Add some noise with the stencil. Now I chose a page with a flap because I want to put a window in there. But I'm leaving it raw underneath. Bring in another stencil with some Van Dyke Brown Hue. Now I have no focal point in mind. A little bit of Mod Podge, sticky, sticky fingers. Pull that napkin apart. But I don't have a focal point in mind. I'm just creating the background right now. Just playing with the background. I'm going to tear bits and pieces of this and glue it onto this page, treating that flap just as if it is part of the page. Making a 2-page spread, I'm going to be focusing here for the focal point, but I am creating a 2-page spread. So I'll just tear this into pieces. Just randomly, have no idea how it's going to tear, and I will glue those down with Mod Podge. Mod Podge underneath, and Mod Podge on top. And we'll let that dry. Sorry for the glare. While that's drying, I'm going to put Mod Podge on a piece of glass. You can use your Teflon sheet. I just happen to have the piece of glass right here on my desk. So I'm going to use that. Mod Podge, put the napkin on there, and then Mod Podge on the top of the napkin. We'll use that for some kind of embellishment on one of the pages. And we'll let that dry. Okay, when this is virtually dry, I'm going to come in with my X-Acto and loosen that up. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to draw in here. I'm going to play with watercolor pencils. Bring in a water brush, blend that in. I had a butterfly sitting on my desk, so I'm going to glue those down onto her. So here's my yummy girl. I do want to create a window. I have this sitting on my desk, of course. That's about the size I want the window from top to bottom, where I would like it. So bring in a pen, mark it here and here. So that's where that will go across. And then how wide? About that wide. Good. I'm going to say it's about right there. I'll go ahead and make pen marks. Hope for the best. If it's a little bit off, we'll adjust. So the top is here. About right there. And the bottom. Bring in my X-Acto and a ruler and my cutting sheet, my cutting mat, and I'm going to cut a window. Okay, let's see how we did. Oh, ta-da. Beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I have this fun flower left over on here. I'm going to cut that out and put that on her head. I'm going to draw on her on the outside just to complete her on the outside. We may or may not do anything with that. We shall see. I have a piece of acetate here. I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and sew it in the flap, on the back side of the flap. I'm going to bring in a little bit of white gesso for her neck. See if I can get rid of the shine there. So I put her little hat on her head, painted her neck white, still showing the background through. And then when we lift it up, there she is. Oh, I love all this background. She's not done yet. All right, I have removed the napkin from the glass, the napkin and Mod Podge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut her some wings out of this fun Mod Podge napkin fabric. I have her wings cut out. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and sew these wings on. All right, I have her wings on. The scrap was on my desk, so I grabbed that. I grabbed a piece of a jelly print. I'll make her little dress with that. Maybe a little thinner at the top, huh? Perfect, I'll glue that down with some Mod Podge. I'm going to bring my Stabilo in, go around her. Go around the edges of the window and her hat and her wings and around the edge of the page. Then we'll call it complete. Bring in a little closer so you can see. Here's the Mod Podge butterfly wings. Little scrap from my table. This flap was already on here, so that's what I used. I put an acetate window in there. I sewed it. You can glue it, you can brad it, you can eyelet it. Took a piece of the window and put it on top of her head. There she is underneath. So that is a very fun little project. Your turn. Go create, go play, go have fun. All right, I have my 3 double pages. Stack those up. I'm going to put a clip on the top and the bottom of each. Hold those in place for now. Bring my book in. I'm going to be working on the center signature. So it's these holes that I'm going to be playing with. Okay, let's bring this in. Center that best we can. That looks good. All right, bring our clips in and clip those pages to the outside of the book. I don't care if they're wonky, part of my charm.